Alright guys, so I bought a house. No, not that one. I bought a little bitty cottage that needs a lot of work. I paid $10,000 for it. So here's the back of the house where the addition was. That got taken out by a tree. I found this weird container underneath the house. It's been electrical taped. There's something rattling around in there. Could be animal remains.
Small animal, small pet.
So what you think?
Yeah.
Someone has alerted the county inspectors. There they go. All right, so here she is. Should have brought my skid steer with me. Let's take you on a brief tour. This is the neighbors. There's a house down that way. There's a house being built kind of over there. But other than that, I'm in the woods. And there's 600 acres of a hunting club around back. This would be the living room. Yeah. And then through here is the kitchen. And there was a addition that a tree took off and damaged the roof. So the roof's leaking here. So I'm here today to kind of get a lay of it, what kind of metal roofing I need, how much of it. Yeah, had a nice addition. Apparently the tree took off. So yeah, there's that. Kitchen, yeah, I mean, maybe we can save it. No, but yeah, a little rough in here. Oh, it's one of those alcohol bottles with the, what is this? What is that? A Crown Royal. Huh. With a little sack and everything. That's awesome. Alright. So, then you go in here. And I guess this would be the master bedroom because it's bigger. And it actually has a closet. That's your first room. Kind of a closet. There's a shoe there. And someone did something there. And then your bathroom is right here. Seems to all be here. It's a nest of some type up there. Yeah. Oh look. Honey magazines. Tons of them. Huh. Yeah. And then here I guess would be the kids' room. This room's probably 10 by 8. Hardwood floors look pretty good in this room. Yeah. You can see the addition there. I got taken off. I need to bring a skid steer out here. You can see where it arced when the tree fell on it. It's totally unhooked now, except for that center cable. I'm gonna go look at the transformer and see if this one's flipped or disconnected. So I don't want to handle a live wire. It's been on the ground for years. Yeah. First of all, these doors are 115 a piece, fiberglass with encasement and brick molding on the outside. Holes already drilled. Salvage Depot has them, good price. These are 1x6s I had to get at Lowe's, pressure treated. And so I'm about to lay these out on a sawhorse and paint them. And I got locks, and I got actually a can of discounted paint because the can was so messed up. Look at that. It was $12 because it was messed up. This is my before shot, before Bobcat work. Have my grapple bucket here, and I'm basically going to take all this undergrowth and small trees and throw them in a pile, probably around back. Get the tree off the house, stuff like that. So this is my angle. Yep. I'll take the before right now, and then the after will be filmed the same place. All right, so here's the back of the house where the addition was. That got taken out by a tree. That tree. I brought a chainsaw with me, but I think for most part it's pretty rotten. And so one tree, well, let's say the same, maybe a split trunk pine. One fell this way, missed the propane tank, and took out the power line, and one took off the back of the house. So today's goal is to get the skid steer, clean all this crap out, push it back here, make a giant pile for burning. Yeah, here's the after from yesterday. Only neighbors over there, the guy at the razor wire. He's a really cool guy. He's got like a compound over there in a lake. He's offered me to come fish. But anyway, I did all my bobcat work, removed the addition that got, you know, hit by a tree. Yeah, I found my well, which, surprise, is full of water. It's a lined well, but it's not very deep. Yeah, it's probably 50, I'd say 50 feet. It's a bored well. So yeah, here I did all the bobcat work here. I made, back there is where I put all the trees and junk, and it's basically the right where the property line is. So it's .30 of acre, 32 of acre, but not very big. Hopefully, I haven't found the septic tank yet, which I'm happy I haven't fallen through it yet. So here's all the material I need to build the deck. I got as close as I could here with the skid steer. I didn't want to fall through, obviously. You can see where the old deck was. It started to rot that piece out. Luckily, it's not totally rotten. And after I get that done, I can start addressing that. You know, it's really cool. They use tongue and groove on the roof. Really solid. About 1.25 inches tongue and groove is what they used. Alright guys, so I build decks a little bit differently. I build them on sawhorses. That way I can screw from this side. I don't have to use brackets that way. And then I lift it up onto the house, which that board right there is a piece of leveled lumber that will hold it. But then I space it out about 1/2 inch from the wall. And the reason why I do this is I want flashing all the way underneath the deck where it meets the house, and I want there to be a gap. And so that's just a ledger board. I'll remove that later. Well, the problem I'm having is that board's level, the house is not level. So the question is, do I level the deck or make it the same off level the house is? And I'm just going to level the deck since it's freestanding. There's going to be a post that corner, middle, this way. And yeah, I do kind of build decks ass backwards that way, but the reason why I do that is I like to dig my holes in the corners and in the middle for the post, and I like for the post to hang down and not be on the bottom of the hole. And that way I pour concrete all the way around it. It kind of makes it stronger. And so this is exactly why I build the deck away from the house, and that's so I can screw from both sides. And I get 3 screws on each end, and if I see a twist in the board, then I toe screw. If I just screwed this to the piece of the side of the house and then toe screwed everything, it wouldn't be as strong. And so that's why I build the deck away from the house. And then me and Buddy, probably my brother, we're gonna grab it, pick it up, and sit on this ledger board, space it out. Then we're gonna put some temporary legs all the way around, space them out, and level it. And then we'll dig our permanent legs and have them dangle in the hole from above, so we can pour concrete all the way around. Alright, so this is what I call a suspended post. You get about 6 inches all the way around and underneath it. So I'm put an 80-pound bag in there, and I've notched the post so the main rail, which all of them tie in together, is being held up by it. And it should be good. So next I'm going to do a post probably on this corner, carefully, and then take down this stack of blocks and put one right here. And I'll probably go ahead and get all those set and poured, and then I'll start on the ones. I'll have to do one that corner, and the hard one will be the one in the middle. I'll take my little trench shovel and crawl underneath there and dig it. Here's the deck, which I just finished. Yep. I used my cattle panel. I had some leftovers from the last deck I built. So cheaper. So I probably built this deck for around $600 total. 6 posts on it. It's not attached to the house in any way. The house is flashed. And before I fix the siding there, I'm going to do a house wrap, of course. But yeah. Pretty good. Yep. You can see all my posts. Boo, boo, boo. Yep. 45s on this side. Took some of the scrap pieces of post and made 45s with it. But yeah, that's it. I'll take you on top of it. It took me about probably 12 hours of build time. I put this up here because there's wild chickens. And the wild chickens like to get on my deck, and I don't like them to doo-doo on my deck. They're kind of aggressive. Normally I do a 45, but this time I decided not to. I've done a couple decks where I do a 45 on the top rail, but so this would be best. Yep, need to find a window, don't I? Yeah. Ugh. Well, that's how to get your deck dirty. Don't pull on the weird limb. But anyway, I use these concrete steps that were originally here. I kind of like them. I'm gonna need to put some cement on that one corner because it's nothing supporting it. Alright, so I just left Pioneer Metal. Well, I'm here now, so I paid for my metal. It's gonna be $1,050 to do that small house. That's the rake, the screws, everything. I went ahead and paid in full in cash, and so yeah, it'll be ready Monday afternoon. Today is Thursday? Yeah. So I'll have my wooden sticks down and everything ready to go. And it's a 20-year roof Galvan loom, which is basically their cheapest. It's $1.89 a foot. Oh, new doors installed on the back. So that's good. Tomorrow, I'm starting on this rot. Luckily, I can access these pretty easily by pulling that piece of wood. And I'm going to sister them. Like the ones that are completely broken off, I'll just go over a little bit, sister it, come back out. And to your plain eye, you won't see that it's, 10 inches apart versus the 16 inches apart or whatever. And I'm going to do that basically this whole line and try to get that good. And I'll probably try to match the level of the existing shingles and decking with plywood. Just build it up. That way when the metal roof goes over all of it, it's smooth and there's not a dip there. There I am, right off the generator. Still ain't got no power. But anyway, so I made a jig of the bird mouth overhang, and I've been cutting them out of pressure treated. I'll show you where I've been putting them up. And so far so good. The rule of thumb is for a cantilever, every foot you have hanging out, you need to have 2/3 back up sistering. So that's what I did. And you can see the ones that replace that one on the end. And so next I'm going to do that one that's missing, and then I got to figure out how to do this one because there's a 2x4 in there that is probably a nailer for drywall, and it'd be kind of hard to take down, and I have to kind of sister around it because that one definitely needs to be sistered. See where the bottom part broke out? But I might can just do a different type of sistering to it. There's the old eaves, and I ripped them all off and rebuild them out of pressure treated. Yeah, exactly. So one thing I am looking at is how this other roof comes down. What I'll probably end up doing is I need to extend that a little bit. So I got everything on that truck to do a metal roof on this house. All my wood slats, my metal roofing, my valley, my edge rake, my 28 panels. I actually overbought 1x4s. They had a good price on them. They're 12 foot long, and there's a lizard on there. And they were $2.60 a piece, so I ordered 100 of them. Yeah. So today's goal, I gotta finish up some fascia board work, a little bit more fascia board work, and where that roof connects down here, I need to finish that up. It's a hot day today, but luckily I'm in the shade, and so I'll get this up there. This is what I'm putting on Galvalume, silver, galvanized. Alright, so I have almost all the strips of wood down. These are overhang. I'll take a chainsaw, cut them off. And what I'm doing now is I'm avoiding that area because the sun's in it. And so I'm putting my drip edge first, which is Galvalume, which is galvanized type metal. It's rated for 20 years. You get a lot more out of it. So I'm doing that. Got a little more pieces to do. And then I'll probably start running my panels going this direction. Working up here. This is the neighbors. There's a house down that way. There's a house being built kind of over there. But other than that, I'm in the woods. And there's 600 acres of a hunting club around back. Might see if I can pay my dues and get in on that. Yep. My favorite tool's back again. Work smart, not hard. So I came back here about 3 hours later. Less sun. It's not overhead anymore. Starting to set. So the goal is to get this all done. Got almost all my valleys done. Started over here. I'll run this into the valley. Yep. So tomorrow, goal is to finish this, get the valley on, and then start with my trim pieces, gable, what do we call them, ridge caps on. It's done, and it's shiny and it's hot. I'm so soaking wet that my underwear is wet. I'm sweating so much. But yeah. Put that gavel loom up there. It's finished. All the side rakes are on, which are easy. It's good. Yeah. I think I maybe missed one screw in the entire sheet metal. So we're good on that. I'll just come up here with a little thing of silicone and touch up any screws I missed. I think I missed one. And I also like to touch up the seams. I overlap the ridge cap out at 2 foot. And so I still put a little bead of silicone where they connect. Because that's the only place it would really leak is water would get in between and somehow get underneath, but that's a very rare chance. Someone has alerted the county inspectors. There they go. Yeah. Well, I knew I was gonna have to pull permits. I thought I could do electrical myself, and he started walking around and said, nah, it's gonna have to be done with a licensed electrician. And he said every wire. It doesn't matter that those plugs have grounds. Every wire, oh my God. Some of it can be snaked, but some of this drywall and shit's gonna have to be removed. Wow. That sucks. Yep. What a day to rain on my parade when I just finished doing the roof. Guy comes in and says, every wire. Yeah, guys. I really like this little house. I'm thinking about living here, to be honest with you. Hardwood floors are in the living room and in the 2 bedrooms in great shape. They can be finished. They're not missing. The only place that needs floors is the kitchen. It had hardwood floors, and you see how it's rippled up? It makes you think, oh crap, the floor, you know, the subfloor's ruined, but no, it's actually the hardwood floors got wet from this leak, and it bubbled them up. Good old generator and gas can. So here's what's going on today at the house. I've been doing electrical. I got my box set for that light. The original light was there. I moved it up a little bit. So basically the inspector somehow found me out, came out here, and told me I needed brand new electrical, which, no shit, I pretty much figured that. I would have liked to save the wire and the walls because, I mean, it's not that old. It's still pretty good shape. 12.2 wire, but whatever. Yeah, so I've reran about 150 foot of wire at this point. Yeah, I gotta clean it up. I gotta staple it down. The inspector informed me that there needs to be a dedicated circuit for the fridge. So I got one going there. I gotta snake it through, and all these will be GFI for the kitchen. And he's like, as long as you don't change the floor plan of the kitchen, I won't make you get a plumbing inspection. I'm like, okay. So I'm not changing the floor plan until he leaves. I got basically most of the living room done. I got my wire boxes, my lights boxes in for the closets. He said I need to have closet lights, so I've installed boxes in the closets. I've pulled all the drywall around the bedrooms, so I can do that. I'm about to pull this box out. He said no reusing boxes, and put a double box, and we'll have a GFI plug and a light switch for this. Yeah, so I've been up in the attic a lot. So basically he said I'm not allowed to work on it at all. Well, nah. I found an electrician that I'm using the license of, and he's going to install the meter. The panel's right here. He's going to install the panel. There's the old one. And we're going to 200 amps because why not? And he's going to do that, and it's going to cost me about $1,200. Now, all the material, we have to use GFI breakers, which are $50 a piece. We're probably going to have about 8 breakers total in this house. So about $400 in breakers. Panels about $100. outside meter base, and also all the conduit, probably another 200 to 300. So everything would probably, plus permits, I mean, probably materials and everything is going to be about $800 for the electrician, and he's basically only making 400. So, you know, it's only going to take him maybe a day to put his stuff in, because I'm going to have all my wires ran. But that's the cheapest I could find. I mean, I had one guy quote me $5,000, and that was just for a meter base. I was like, whoa, nah. I just think he didn't want to work on it. But so yeah, I've been running all the wire, getting it done. I had to take out the paneling, which I hated because I love the paneling. It did not come out well. It kept breaking. I had trees cut. Yeah. So basically all the trees over there, they were threatening the pump house. Well, there's a well over there. That's going to be my well. I had to get rid of those. Yeah. I keep a skid steer here for grading and shit. It's disabled though, so that no one could steal it. But luckily this house is only 3 minutes down the road from my mom's house. So, and from the farm that I live on, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm hoping once I get done with the electrical, I can focus on being more creative and actually, you know, finishing out. After I do that will be windows. The inspector got on to me about windows. He was like, these are really too small for egress. And he said, if you replace them, you have to go bigger. And I said, well, maybe I won't replace them then. Of course I'm going to replace them. And I will go bigger. I just, you know, I hate being told what to do today too. And then I'll show you the progress. Electrical inspection, the guy said go ahead and close the walls, and then he'll come back for another inspection. Okay. Alright, so the kitchen has been stripped, and I put you guys are like, what's that wired there? It's not really stapled, it's just floating. That's an extra wire in case I ever want to have a dishwasher here. I went ahead and put it in the corner of the box so I can pull it through years later. I can have a dishwasher. And I did the same right about here for a range hood. It's not hooked up to anything. So I found this weird container underneath the house. It's been electrical taped, and there's something rattling around in there. Could be animal remains.
Small animal, small pet.
So what you think?
Yeah. Is that a snake? Is that banana? I don't know what I'm looking at.
It's like wax. Is it wax the drug? No. I don't know what the fuck this is.
I don't like it.
I'm disappointed. I don't know why it's in here. Alright, so today's goal is to replace this window. I've exposed, this is a rot, but I have to redo the header because of course the code inspector came in and saying you can't go with a replacement window. You have to go with a bigger window because of egress. Whatever. So I got my new 6x5 window, 6 foot by 5 foot, and here's the outside of this window. I'm gonna take this out, and so essentially pop this window out, and I have to make something to support the new the roof load while I take out the old header. So basically what I'm gonna do, and I know a lot of people would build a pony wall. If you're doing a span of less than 8 feet, this is less than 8 feet. What I like to do is I'll take the window out, I'll go ahead and put my new stud, so I'm gonna go right about here for the header, and I will clean up this edge and take a 2x6 or 2x8 and screw it to everything. And so I can still slide my new header behind the 2x6 that's taking the load, and I can start, you know, putting my jack studs in and all that. And then after I've put those in, I remove that, and that'll take the load perfectly. I mean, yeah, look at this. This is a double plated top plate, so there's already a good bit of ridgeability to it. And so the other way would be to build a king stud, a pony wall. But the way this roof is made, the roof joists are bird mouthed into that king stud. So if I just build a pony wall here, it's not going to support the roof, because the roof is not supported like that. It's bird mouthed to that edge. So I got to kind of do it like the way the house is built. and so I need to support that most importantly. So I'll put like a 2x6 across there, screw it too, and let that take the load. But I'm about to pop this window out and get to it. Hopefully, the hardest part is going to be the cutting the siding, because the siding is aluminum, and I got saws off a metal blade. I should be able to do it. All right, guys. So I got my temporary header up there, which has been doing a great job. No sag yet. And I got the old header out, which is a ordeal, had to be cut up. And I got my new header built. When I say built, I took a 2x4 and put it on top because I have to get a little bit of length down. And so that way I said, hey, I'll put it together. That way they're already together and spaced and everything. And that'll slide up there. Then I'll use my jack studs in the corner to lift it up in place. And so I want it to be the tightest fit as possible. All right, you can see my header's in place. My jack studs are in place. And now I'm going to cut the aluminum siding. It does have some J channel. I might can reuse that. I don't know. So I made my marks, and actually you can see it kicks out a little bit, and that's because whatever reason it kicks in that way. I gotta make sure this is square before I do my cuts, but start them there, go all the way around. And then the window, I'm debating, I was gonna try to tuck everything underneath this piece of trim, and then I said to myself, what if I just cut where these holes are so it's even, and use the new construction nailing flange to go right against my siding, and then caulk it all the way around, because then I can hide all my crazy cuts and everything. Got the window installed, and that lip goes perfectly over there. I'm gonna find some caulk that matches, or tries to, and go all the way around it, and build my encasement on the inside. It's leveled, ready to go. I gotta do that window. Little house is coming together. I got 2 windows left to replace. I've done the ones on the front, I've already trimmed them out, and so 2 on the side right here. I got a good deal on windows. The big one was 100. Those little one, the 3x5s were 40, which is really good for one that's highly rated. Double pane argon gas. My brother's here helping me, and today we're going to be hanging the drywall on here, replacing this window, and maybe probably the window in the kitchen today too. And then I'll show you the progress. So we've been insulating, hanging drywall. You can kind of get an idea, you know, gotta start mudding this up soon. There was a place where the roof leaked there, so I had to replace more drywall. Yeah, I mean, yep. So yeah, these 2 rooms are hung, and just gotta finish this up today. We got all the drywall hung. Most of the windows are encased. My brother started mudding up in this room. I guess this is the master, and it's going good. Probably finish this tomorrow. There he's washing his hands, and yeah, I still got, gosh, 7 sheets of drywall, which I will use in the kitchen. And then after that, you know, just mud it up. I got all the windows are replaced, and yeah, I just kind of used a lot of scraps on that one. We'll save a whole sheet for 2 whole sheets for this. A whole sheet for this corner is 3, 4, 5. All right, guys. So here's what's going on. I built a front porch. I'm building one. I got 6x6 posts. 6x6 cat plates. The post I was able to salvage and use from something else I did. The cat plates I milled. All the 2x6s are going to go on top, which are over there, I milled. And the idea is going to have a front porch that sticks out 10'5", and it has about a foot overhang. So it's about, completed roof area is about 12 foot. A little. All right. Neighbor chickens. Porch is coming together good. I got what I call a ledger board up here, and it sticks out about 10 inches, and the final joist will tie into that, or stringer. Go to that overhang, and yeah, I got like 10 of them up. I'll probably be able to get past the door maybe about mid-window today before the sun goes down. I'm cutting them all at, I think it's about a 7 degree angle or 8 degree angle, and yeah, easy peasy Japanesey. Ooh, we can't say that. We can't say it. Yeah, easy peasy. I don't know. But yeah, and some of this wood is twisted. I mean, not twisted, but bowed. I used a dull blade on some of it when I was cutting it. But just more character. I milled every piece except for the post, you know. And this post has barbed wire still on it. It was used in my uncle's barn years ago. He sold the barn, and I asked him if I could. He sold the land, and the barn was on it. And they were going to tear down the barn, and I said, hey, could I have the wood off that and the metal? And he asked them, and they said yeah. And so we worked out a deal where he got to keep half the material and I got to keep half the material. And he never really did anything with his, and when he died I was able to get some of the posts. But it was a good man. And so posts have history. This house will have a little bit of history now. Got all my, I guess, trusses up, or joists, whatever. And about to get up there and measure and square it up. I did not screw to here yet, so they're all screwed to the house and to the top plate, but they're not screwed to here. And I'm not gonna do that until I've made sure it's square, because I can still wiggle them a little bit. So I'm gonna do that, and then tomorrow I probably can get 10 up, hopefully. All right, guys. So I got all my nailers, I call them that, and I've cut my joist overhangs, and I've marked all these ones to be cut. Yeah. So yeah, I've only been here maybe 2 hours and did that. It's all screwed too. This is square. See the extra end I got to cut off that post, but that is square. So basically what I can do is I butt up the pieces of wood and use them to help square up the other. And so I just need to make sure, you know, it lands on the same piece, which would be 12 feet down. And if it doesn't, I'll, you know, move them all back gently, but it should. And, all right, guys. So I finished the porch. No leaks, which I'm happy with. There is condensation. That's something I didn't realize. But it's been raining for about 4 days now, so I wanted to get it up. I actually built it in the rain. And I'll give you an outside view of it. It's 12, covered space is 12 by 34. Had to get up there. I gotta trim that little piece of wood off there, but Galvalume, it's cheapest you can get actually, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it's galvanized and it, you know, it lasts. So this front porch is gonna be my main entertaining space in this house, and so I'm gonna add something a little special. I'm gonna do lights underneath here, one there, one in the middle, and then one on the end. And rather than just do regular light bulbs, I'm doing these Edison bulbs. They're these are actually dimmable ones. These are LED, but they look like Edison bulbs. They have the curly Qs. These are expensive, but I'm gonna actually do something I haven't done since probably about 12 years. I worked with a guy and he used Armor Light. And I think, you know, I could just use regular wire and staple it to the wood, but that doesn't look professional. And so I wanted to use, you know, this metal look, kind of industrial look. And I'm using basically closet fixtures that have a plug built in. Why I'm doing that is I'm gonna face the plug that way, and if I ever want to put up Christmas lights or like those little Chinese lanterns, I can plug them in and they can be controlled by the light switch, which is cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole up here. It's gonna be hard to try to find it, but then I'll put my hand, I'll take this box out, it's a snap box. I'll put my hand up there, snake the wire to the box, and then work from there. Random chickens. Anyway, so I got the electrical snaked into that box. I'm about to connect it. I'm gonna run this across here into there. I got all my boxes up, I got them stapled. I kind of like the industrial look. And so I got 3 lights going on the porch with Edison bulbs, and later I'll add a dimmer switch so I could dim them. But they're really not that bright. They're kind of candlelight type idea. And yeah, so this is almost done. Just gotta make my final connection there. Zip zip, put the light fixtures up, put the light bulbs in. Light bulbs are kind of expensive, You can actually get the Edison bulbs for like $5 a piece. You can get them cheaper in like a 10-pack, but I got these. These are actually dimmable Edison bulbs, and they only use 5 watts. They're LED actually, but they look like the Edison bulb. And so these were actually $9 a piece. So that's pretty expensive, but 60 cents per year. So that's good savings, you know. What I do on these large junctions is I use the biggest wire nuts, and then I have a wire coming down from it from each. That way I don't have to make my light fixture into a junction. And so that's packed away. About to install light there. I installed the light here, and I'm just using the basic porcelain fixtures they've been using for 100 years. I put a pull string on there because what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have like seating areas, and if different people don't want light over here, you know, they can dim it, you know. So I might put a hot tub right here, to be honest with you. And I don't want neighbors to see what I'm doing in the hot tub, you know what I'm saying? Oh God. I installed my Edison bulbs. They're dimmable, but I don't have a dimmable switch on right now. I really like this porch. This porch is massive. Covered space is 12 by 34. This is gonna be the main entertainment place in this house, because the living room's only like 10 by 17 or 10 by 15. So yeah, wasn't really hard to install, just made it look neat. Considering this is kind of outdoor use, I went ahead and used the Armor Light wire. That's you know, this wire that's covered in aluminum, and it looks kind of like urban industrial, which I like, farmhouse industrial, whatever. And so I made my hole up here, which I'm gonna caulk around it. Yeah, but the wire is protected against any jagged edges and whatnot. This little house is coming together. I'm excited to live here. It's a quiet location. This is the dead end of the road. Back in the 90s, for whatever reason, the county didn't want to maintain this road anymore, so they put a gate up, and so landowners who own all that, they have keys to the gate, and they rent it out to hunters. So there's a hunting lease, and there's probably like, I would say 25 people on the hunting lease, and they have to pay $600 a year dues. It's about $12,000, which wouldn't even pay the land taxes on what 600 something acres. So yeah, so they make, you know, I don't even think they make any money off of that. But yeah, so all I see is hunters. And then today I saw like a Chrysler 500 or whatever, 300, kind of a gangster looking car, and it saw me and it started backing up, and I think they probably just went down the wrong way. But yeah, I'm gonna come over here and just do cleanup. I got these 1x materials up on the front porch because I'm gonna take them. They're actually extra from when I did the roof. I ordered 100 of them, and I used all but maybe 7, or maybe I might have 10 left. And I'm gonna use them to trim out the front door, back door, and I'm thinking about doing the baseboard trim. Debating it. I've done that before out of this, but we've had such moisture. I'm just trying to, you know, these got rained on 2 days ago, so I'm leaving them under the porch to let them dry out. But yeah, progress. I guess next I need to chainsaw that little, I haven't chainsawed that little piece that sticks out, because when I get up on the roof, that's what I use. I put my little step ladder in there and I climb it like a monkey. Alright, so I refinished the floors. Me and my brother sanded them with a drywall sander, and we tried to get most of the paint off them. Some of the areas look pretty good. You see where I patched with wood putty, but it's about 3 coats, and I kind of like the rough, less rustic look a little bit. Living room looks the best. This bedroom looks pretty good. Took a lot of coats, and so yeah, because there was carpet and there was paint, and they painted the floors, and so we did our best. I actually broke the sanding machine, but I don't know. Well, I just took a scrap piece of linoleum I had. I put a little bit of tar paper down, and then I put my underlayment, which is a thin plywood. Screwed that down, and then I have that stapled on the corners, and I'm a gold trim around that, and that's just going to be an entry area. The hardwood floors were really damaged right by the front door, because originally there was no porch, and so water somehow, well, actually this house had no front door for the last 6 or 7 years, I put a front door on it. And so, yeah. It looks good to me. So that's what I've done. And she's getting there. I guess next is going to be, I don't know, gold trim that out and then start on the kitchen. Alright guys, here's a house update, the bachelor pad. I've installed a hot water, not hot water, but a water bed. And I'm filling it up now for the first time. I have no idea what's going to happen. I assume it's going to fill up and not leak everywhere. It's kind of weird because after you get it to temp, you have to quickly put a plug in. Keep it from leaking out everywhere. After you filled up. I got a tote full of water on the back of my truck and a hose. Doesn't seem to be leaking. Ooh. Yeah, it's filling up slowly. It's filling up. Let's hope it doesn't leak. I made this bed out of rough cut lumber and I burned it. Yeah. So I got a couch and a TV. Yeah. And beer and weed. So it's kind of like the perfect place. Front porch is awesome. Pretty cool. It's gonna be where the hot tub's gonna go, is right about here. But yeah, I'm just casually working on it. My brother painted the walls for me, did a good job. You know, floors turned out great. Refinished them. I need to clean them now. I got sawdust everywhere. Here's a good example of them. I hand sanded them. Me and my brother did. Where's the light switch? And there are some blemishes and stuff like that. Some paint I couldn't get off. But yeah, pretty good. The bathroom is the same basically. I cleaned it. Yeah. So the kitchen and the bathroom will probably be my next upgrades after my water bed. Alright, at the bachelor pad here, and you can see I built dog pen, all that shit. And I've been grading out here because I'm gonna have a carport installed, and I'm gonna enclose it and turn it into a little barn with some rough cut lumber. Found a good deal on the carport. Basically $1,100 for an 18 by 21 A-frame with 8-foot legs, which seems to be out pretty cheap because I see people selling them on the marketplace for $1,200 and you have to take them down. This is a brand new one. But anyway, I've been grading a lot over there for it. I still need a little grading. These are all logs I've pulled off this property so far. I just got them stacked over here. This is all poplar over here. That's all pine. This last tree, it's leaning towards the house, but also leaning towards the wood line. So I'm thinking with the Bobcat pushing it, I can hopefully get it to fall that way. If not, I'm gonna ruin my house. Hope I got it. Oh yeah. Well, I thought I could notch this tree and it'd fall that way. No. I got wedges on it, trying to keep it far away from the power lines. And I've moved my truck way over there. I'm gonna set up a camera for this in case it goes terribly wrong.
Yeah! Let's careful. Oh my god. Let's never put ourselves in that kind of situation again.
Me? Like I did this thing.
came over like 5 minutes before. He needs me to help unload the saw. Oh my god, that's the last of the pines I'm cutting. Fuck that shit. Oh, did I get it? I think I did. Oh my god. I want to really get this tree because it's rotten at the base, but that's the power company's problem probably. And then this motherfucker right here. I hate this one. This one's lame.